So today, what shall we try to understand is we'll try to understand concept of packages in Python. Okay. So what is a package in Python? What is a package in Python? Guess. A package is a folder. A package is a folder or directory in which in which it contains collection of modules in which it contains collection of modules. So so every folder is not a package. Understand, there is a folder for you. Okay, so X is the name of the folder, and here you have, let's say, two text dot txt files. Okay, dot notepads. You have two notepads. Okay, so same here also two notepads. So x is not a package. X is not a package, whereas there is a folder called y. Okay, there is a folder called y, and here you have dot py files. Okay, dot py files, that is called a package. Okay, this y is called package. There are hundreds of folders in your computer. Not all folders are packages. A folder we are calling as like a package whenever internally modules are there. Internally, what are there? Modules are there. So what do you mean by a module in Python? Any file with a .py extension is module. So here if you have text files, some other files, then this is not treated as like package. You have to understand that point. Okay, right? Okay, a package is a folder or directory in which contains collection of modules. Right. Okay. The package can also contain sub packages. Means what? Here, Y is the name of the folder. Internally, there is another folder called Z, and in the Z, you can have another .py file. Another .py file. Okay, so a package can contain a sub package, means internally one more folder, inside of that folder some more Python files. Okay, so that is what the point. Anyways, I'll explain with a proper diagram. Okay, can a package contain sub package? Can a package contain another package? Yes, a package can contain another package which is called sub package, sub package. Understanding? So because that folder contains parallelly some other Python files, and root is called package, so that is called sub package. Okay, fine. So let me go ahead and show one example. So why the reason we are studying packages is, how do we access Python files, Python modules, module properties whenever they are residing in different folders. So that is what the concept we are going to study now. Okay, so imagine there is a folder in your system. Okay, so the name of the folder is Python okay, so Python programming. Okay, I want you to create this directories which I'm going to show now. Okay, so in this you have created another folder. Okay, so this folder name I am writing as like pack1. Okay, I want you guys to create this kind of structure in your computer. At the same time, you also have to take this diagram. So inside of pack1 I am creating couple of Python files, you see. Okay, and I am creating another folder inside of pack1, and inside of which I am creating one more Python file, two more Python files. Okay, so let me name these things. My first program name is a.py. My second module name is b.py. My sub package folder name is subpack1, and my file name is c.py, and the final Python file name is d.py. Okay, right? Let me try to build some logic in this. A equals to 1000 def f1. Okay, so print of in f1 of a, in f1 of a. This is what the logic which I am writing in a.py. Okay, control A, control C, control V. Here I would like to change few things. B equals to 2000 f2 in f2 of A. Right, now let me in the c.py, C equals to 3000 f3 in f3 of C. Right, in f3 of C. You can please take this, and d.py. Here I am putting d equals to 4000 f4 in f4 of D. Okay, every program is coming up with how many properties? Only two properties. Fine. So this is what the structure I want you to create. Now under the folder of Python programming, I want you to create a file called test.py. Okay, test.py is what the file I want you guys to create. Now, so here is what your requirements come into the picture. Okay, see, you have to print 1000. That is what your mandatory output. Okay, your project task is like you have to print 1000. So what we have learned, instead of creating a new variable, you can able to import other module properties where if any variable contains value 1000. Right, so in this case what you can see here in this case, if you see, there is a variable a equals to 1000 present in a.py. So I can able to bring in that variable a into my test.py. Okay, it makes sense. Without creating any new variable, I can able to do what? execute the value 1000. Okay, so for that what you have to do is, let us try to understand that through coding. Okay, so let me go ahead and create all these files and folders. Okay, so let me create a new folder, Python programming. Okay, so Python programming is a folder I'm creating. So everybody, you also create along with me. And inside Python programming, what I have created a folder called pack1. Okay, and inside pack1 what I did, I have created Python files. Okay, so let me type idle. Let me open my idle. I have to start creating Python files a.py, b.py, c.py, and d.py. Okay, Control N, Control S. So where I have to go? I have to go to Python pack1 dot pack1 folder, in which pack1 folder A is the file name. This is a.py. So you have a variable 1000 and def f1 print in f1 of A, right? Control S, F5. Okay. Now Control A, Control C, Control N, Control V, Control S. So this is b.py, and b is equals to 2000. F2 is the function name in F2 dot in F2 of B. Control S, F5. Now what I have to do is, see, in under pack1 you got A and B, and if you observe you have to create a folder inside pack1, that is sub pack1. So let me do that. Control A, Control C, Control N, Control V, Control S. So here under sub pack1 we have AB, and you also have to create a new folder, sub pack1. Am I right? Sub pack1. Open sub pack1, put c.py, and so change the file names. C equals to 3000, F3 in F3 of C, Control S, F5. Can you observe the path here? Python programming is a root folder which I have given in the diagram. Inside pack1 I created, in which I have stored a.py, b.py, and at the same time inside pack1 I have stored sub pack1, in which inside I have stored c.py. So last file I have to create, Control A, Control C, Control N, Control V, Control S. So d.py, and let me change this 4 in F4 of D, Control S, F5. So can you please observe the paths as how I have shown in the diagram, right? Accordingly, I have created, right? Python programming is the main heading, main folder, in which there is one folder called pack1. Pack1 contains couple of Python files and one folder called subpack1 in which two Python files are there, right? So that is how I have created our folders. See, under Python programming, pack1, pack1 contains AB and subpack1. Go to subpack1, you have CD. Got it? Okay. Now come out of these folders. Now you see beside pack1 means inside Python programming, there is a pack1 and beside you have to create a Python file. Am I right or wrong? Python programming inside pack1 you have, beside you have to create test.py. Okay, let us go ahead and create test.py. Control N, Control S. So go to your Python programming. Beside pack1 you have to put test.py. Got it. So test.py is my file. Okay, right. So here now what I'm trying to tell you is how to access this. One second. Okay, how to access this a variable into test.p1. So what is the module name? Capital A. Am I right? So how do you import capital A module? Tell me. Import. Okay, let me put this right side. And where is our program A? Okay, let me put this left side. Left side, yesterday it was mod1, today it is a.py. So I'm showing first a normal import. Import capital A, right? So now print, instead of mod1 dot k, now capital A dot small a. Are you understanding? Import capital A, you have importing capital A program, right? File, import A, and property is small a, capital A dot small a. You should not have any doubt here, right? So a dot a should print how much? 1000 for me. Control S, F5. But what it is telling, you see, module not found error, no module named A, right? So your Python interpreter could not able to recognize module A. So this is how you have shown yesterday. No, mod1 you have imported and mod1.a it worked. But here now same a.py, a imported and a dot small a, it should work. No, no, it will not work. Why? Because yesterday my, if you really observe, my mod1.py file and my your project.py file or test.py file, wherever right side program I did mod1.a, those two files are in the same directory. Okay, when they are there in the same directory, you don't have to bother about the package concept. But here if you see, okay, test.py is there in Python programming folder, a.py is there in pack1 folder, which is in Python programming folder, right? The other way to say is to pull this a.py into test.py, there is a mediator for us in between. Okay, for a.py and test.py, tell me who is the mediator? This fellow. Am I right or wrong? Pack1 is the mediator. This line is the mediator, right? A.py is some there inside of pack1 and test.py is beside of pack1. So both the directories are not same. Correct. So at that time, what you need to do is to take a.py file, you need to take the blessings of pack1. Okay, right? For your friend to in pull you out from the home to take to somewhere outside, you should he should take your mother's permission, right? So auntie send my friend out. Okay, likewise, how the way you will ask your friend mom permission. Likewise, to take a.py into test.py, you have to take the approval of pack1. Pack1 should agree, then only you can have this a.py file into this test.py file. So what do you do to access that? Okay, you'll have to write like this: import space, first ask mom. Okay, and then reach out to your friend. Understanding? Import pack1 dot a. Okay. Now what you do is print, print. Now you have to print a small a. So your prefixing concept holds the same. Okay. So let me show one sec. Let me come here. So what I'm saying is only a importing will not help. You have to import like this pack1 dot a, right? So this is good. Now you have got imported your a module into your test.py, right? Control s f5. Still your a is not understanding. See, earlier the problem is with the what? Module not found error. Earlier complete a module itself, your interpreter could not able to identify. Now the error is what? Name error. A dot a is error, means name a is not defined. If you really understand, there is difference between these two errors. The point is, here we have got our module, but the way how we have printed is mistake. What is that you have to do here? The way how you have imported, accordingly you have to print pack1 dot a dot small a, control s f5. Now you see you will get your 1000. What is 1000? Is the value of a small a variable. Are you understanding? So this is how you have to fetch the modules which are there in different folders. Okay, right. Now, sir, if I have to access f1, can I, first of all tell me, can I able to access f1? Can I able to access f1? Hmm? Tell me, can I able to access f1? Yes, no? Yes, you can access f1 because we have done which kind of import? Normal import, right? So perfectly you can access f1. But if you straight away use f1, will it work? It will not work. F1 will not work. So how do I call, sir? A dot f1, do you think it will work? No, a dot f1 also it will not work because your interpreter will recognize it with only if you come up with your parent, right? So in this case, f1 is, property, a is module, and pack1 is package. Okay, control s f5. You see now f1 is working fine. Right now, do you understood that dots coming, lots of dots coming in the program, right? So pack1 dot a dot f1. So this f1 is coming to your file and it is getting executed because you have imported entire pack1 dot a module, okay, through normal import. Therefore 100% properties have come for you. 100% properties properties came, right? Okay, now with this understanding I would like to show from. Now you tell me, you have to understand, you have to so first file you have imported, right? Now let me try to fetch b.py with the second type of syntax, import syntax, that is from. So if I have to utilize from, how do I do this b.py file? Hmm? Guess. From pack1 dot b import small b. Okay, you want only to access small b, imagine. Okay, from importance is that only, right? Required properties you can able to fetch, only required properties you can able to fetch. Did you guys clear? Understood? From pack1 dot b import small b. So this only small b property to access, you are importing the capital B dot py file which is there in pack1. So that is the reason you are pulling like this, from pack1 dot b import small b, right? So this is how you have to do. Let me write down that. So this is what my b.py file. Okay, so from pack1 dot b, import only one property, that is small b. So print. So tell me, should I write here pack1 dot a, pack1 dot b or only b? Only b or pack1 dot b dot b? Only b, right? Because there is no prefixing concept is required whenever you are using from import. Control S F5. You see your 2000 will work fine. Getting my point? Likewise, shall I, can I call F2, sir? F2 is present in here B. So can I call F2? Will this work? Control S F5. If you know answer, it will not work. Why, sir? We have fetched only what? Only F2. Oh, sorry, B. We have fetched only B. We have not fetched F2. So that is the reason this will not work. You can put like this, error. Okay. Right. Now let me move on with this understanding. You should tell me I have to import c.py using aliasing, okay, and normal import. Okay, question for you. Okay, I have to import c.py, capital C.py. So import pack1 dot, which is c.py is there inside sub pack1 dot c, right? Am I right? C.py is there like this, import pack1 dot sub pack1 dot capital C. Now what I'm doing as q, as q. Okay, you can give any letter whatever you want. Okay, are you getting my point? So now do you understood the importance of aliasing? Just to print small c variable, how much big line you have to write? Tell me. Print pack1 dot sub pack1 dot capital C dot small c, right? So in how many dots you brought in here, you tell me. Three dots you brought in to print a 3000 value. Are you understanding how this small c I am printing? From the left side c.py file I fetched, right, using normal import. So pack1 dot sub pack1 dot capital C dot small c, right, sir? So huge, so big, no? That is the reason we are going to aliasing concept. Okay, q dots, this is so good, right? Simple. Entire pack1 dot sub pack1 dot c replacing with a q. So this should work fine. Okay, so I'm just pasting the same file here, you see. Hmm. Okay, so left side program is what? C. So import pack1 dot sub pack1 dot capital C as q and q dot c. Okay, control S F5. What happened? One second. Control S F5. Can you see 3000 displayed? Because I have done normal import and I have used aliasing. Okay, I'm showing all types of possibilities in one program. So tell me how to print your, how to call your F3. Pack1 dot sub pack1 dot F3. Okay, will this work? Control S F5. Sir, I told you very clearly, right? Whenever you change module name as like aliasing, right, interpreter will recognize it with only with aliasing name. This clearly I have explained yesterday, right? So now your interpreter no more detects your one second. Okay. Huh. So this is what is strange. I've been observing. I purposefully given it. Yesterday I have told you. You remember, and you also checked mod1 dot a. After changing it to aliasing, original name it was not detected, right? But in case of packages, it will detect. It is detecting. pack1 dot sub pack1 dot f f3 I did. Okay, so it is working, and let me also show q dot f3. Okay, so guys, take some learning out here. Okay, what is that learning? Tell me. Whenever you make aliasing, obviously aliasing will work. Okay, and interpreter will not detect the original name, is what yesterday I said. Whenever you are using only module concept, but whenever you are using packages concept, right, interpreter will detect both. Getting my point? That's the reason in f3 of c, in f3 of c, two times it displayed. Understood? So but this you don't have to write because you have moved it into aliasing. But just for your understanding, I'm telling, interpreter can detect its aliasing name, as well as interpreter will work with the full name also. That is what the point you have to understand. Okay, so the last point, let me highlight. So what is the last file? D.py. So D.py, let me try to pull like this: from pack1 dot subpack1 dot capital D import star. Okay, another methodology, right? So all methods I am showing in one program. When you do like this, all properties of d dot py file will come, print d and f4. Okay, both will work. Control a, control c, let me move on here. Control v, control s, f5. Can you see 4000 and f4 of d all are working, right? So this is how you can able to utilize, understand concept of package, right? Whenever the files are in modules are in different folders, you will have to access by extending your import statement with the folder names, that is called package names, we call in Python. Okay, so this is what the concept of packages. Okay, so this understand, you don't really do like this programs putting in different folders in real time. But why, the reason you have to understand this concept is, as I have told you in yesterday's session. Where is that? So what is the understanding of this, you tell me, this one line: matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. So what is your understanding? Matplotlib is a package in which pyplot is a module in which, okay, so you are fetching entire pyplot module. To fetch pyplot module, if you straight write pyplot, it will not work, because pyplot is present in matplotlib. So you have to access matplotlib, then only your pyplot will work. And entire name you are making it as like plt. Okay, so let's see. Same here also, you see. From sklearn.cluster import k-means means what? So cluster is a module which is present in sklearn package. Okay, right? And what is k-means? K-means is one of the property which is present in cluster module. Okay, so k-means can be a variable name, global variable, or k-means can be a function, or k-means can be a class. Okay, because these are the only three properties you can import from a module. Okay, so if you see in this program, k means he has used here. Okay, k means of open and close. Okay, so what is this k means? If he has written open and close, right, it is looking like a pure function. Am I right or wrong? right? Function means what? Open and close, no word followed by open and close, so k means can be a function. Okay, don't, as of now your knowledge, k means can be a function, right? But I can claim that this can also be a class. Okay, sir, you are saying open and close brace is a function. No, again, why you are saying class? It can also be become a class object, because functions are objects only. Don't get confused. In next 3 4 days of time, when we get into advanced Python class and object concept, then you will be pretty much clear. So after 1 month of time, let us say from now on, whenever I show this kind of code, you should not have any doubt at all, right? Show means what? Show is from the plt means what? Plt is what? It's pyplot. It's all about myplotlib.pyplot. Pyplot dot show means show is a function which is present in pyplot module. So that is how you have to understand. Okay, fine. If you I'm telling you, know, if you are very good with the Python syntax, Python commands, Python programming concepts, right? Tomorrow data science machine learning is like, cakewalk for you, right? You will not have very big code, right? This k-means clustering is 1 hour lecture we have to give, but you see program is like hardly 10 lines or 15 lines, right? So this is called elbow curve. Okay, so like separating all data into different clusters, this is very simple concept. Every machine learning algorithm is simple. Okay, if you keenly sit for half an hour and if you study the concept of that any machine learning algorithm, you will understand what it is exactly. But implementation, that's where you will face challenge. Df dot ilog, what is this colon comma colon, where it comes? It is you're slicing only. Okay, this left side it is put empty, right side he is fetching something. Okay, so df dot ilog means what? Df is an object, ilog is a method. So tomorrow after 1 month, I'm saying, when I show this kind of code, you should not have any confusion. Pd dot read underscore csv, what is pd here? Pd is a shortcut of pandas, right? So pandas dot read underscore csv. So this is mod1 dot f1, as simple as that. Q dot f1, as simple as that, right? So instead of f1, I'm saying read underscore csv means what? Read underscore csv is a function which is present in pandas module. That is how you have to understand. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, good, cool. Now let me proceed with another fresh concept. Okay, I hope you have taken all these files and program as well, or else let me show program once, right? Just let me take a 1 minute break, and I will start off with a new concept, guys. Right side test.py, in the diagram you just put this code. Okay, shall I proceed? Shall I wait? Shall I proceed? Just respond, please. Okay, let me move on. Now let me close all my files and folder. There are multiple files I've opened. I'm closing. Don't bother. I will also teach you how to program, how to work with Anaconda. Not responding. Where is our? So let's proceed. So I'm gonna in the next 50 minutes of time, whatever we have, I'll complete a small topic. Okay. So command line arguments, and in this only we are going to explore a couple of modules in Python, which are called OS and SYS. Okay. So I'll just kind of introduce these modules to you. What kind of modules are these, using which what we are going to achieve, right? I'll just introduce these modules to you. Okay, right. So first we'll try to understand command line arguments. Okay, so these are the what are command line arguments? These are the arguments which we pass to the Python interpreter at the time of execution of our python python program. Okay, so so basically you have to understand what is this is command prompt. Okay, so one sec. Now, so we are there in, let's say, 8am folder. We are there in okay, let me start creating some files here. Let's see. Okay, or else dir, you have let's say, uh, just to take any one program. Let's say mod1.py. Let me take cls. Cls meant for clear screen. So python space mod1.py. Do you know we can also execute our python programs through command prompt? Am I right or wrong? Yes, this I have shown in the very first or second session, right? So go to that respective directory where your program has been resided, right? Stored, right? And give your program to Python command. So what is the meaning of this? You are giving your file to Python command. Python command means what? It is nothing but called interpreter. What is the name of Python interpreter? That is Python. What is the name of Python virtual machine? That is Python. Both are same. People call virtual machine, people call interpreter. See, in the Java, people call Java interpreter name is Java, and people also call Java interpreter name is Java virtual machine, right? Like the way how you have to understand JVM in Java, likewise PVM in Python. Okay, right. So Python space mod1.py. You are giving your file to your Python interpreter, so that Python interpreter will come inside to mod1.py and it executes this program. Okay, right. So if I hit on enter, one second. If I hit on enter, it gets execute. What happened? It's not just, yeah, it executed, but it is not showing any output. Why? Because if you remember yesterday in mod1.py, I have not written any output. Okay, print statements I have not written, f1 kind of functions also I have not called. But the point what you need to understand here is, what are command line arguments is what our topic is, right? Command line argument means in the command prompt, right? Whatever you are passing to your Python interpreter, this is called command line argument. Okay, how many arguments we have passed? Only one argument. What is the name of the argument? mod1.py. Our Python file is also one of the argument. In fact, that is the first argument which we pass for command into for our Python interpreter. Okay, so let me proceed and make you understand a little bit more clear. Okay, so first let me do a program. Control N, Control S. So let's go to our ATM folder, and here let me write cmd line 1, command line 1. Okay, one small program, cmd line 1. Okay, this is command line arguments ex1. Okay, so first of all, okay, so if you where is my notepad, command prompt. Okay, so here mod1.py is one of the command line argument we have passed to Python interpreter, is what I'm saying, right? So there is a variable called argv. There is a standard variable called argv. Argv always contains number of command line arguments which we pass it to interpreter. Okay, which we pass it to interpreter. Argv is a standard variable. It's a standard variable. Okay, standard variable always contains number of command lines which we pass it to interpreter. Okay, so just take this point. Argv is a standard variable from this module. Please take this. Argv is a standard variable from sys module. Okay, which always contains number of command uh, okay, number of command line arguments which we pass to interpreter. Okay, so interpreter, so that is Python. Okay, name of the interpreter is Python, right? Okay, so let me write a program, import sys. Why I'm importing? Because I'm going to use argv variable which is present in sys module. I have to import it, right? Print sys.argv. Print sys.argv. Okay, right. Now let me do one thing. Control S. Okay, and what is the directory of my this cmd line 1 program? It is c8am. So go to your command prompt. Yes, wherever you are, if let's say if you are in C drive, come to your directory wherever your programs are there, right? And here is what you have to execute your file, python space cmd line1.py. Okay, how many command line arguments have passed? How many command line arguments have passed? One. Can you see that? Can you see that? sys.argv contains number of command line arguments which we have passed. Okay, in which form? In list form. Okay, so you just try to see print of type of sys.argv. Control S F5. Sorry. Anyways, here also, can you see? Can you see argv? Sys.argv. Argv is what now? Argv is which kind of variable? It is a list variable. Okay, it is showing, it is storing the command line arguments in list form. Okay, so that's how it is. Now let me tell you, so this is something different from your reading input from keyboard, guys. Please see, n equals to int of input of enter a number. Okay, right. Print you entered number is, sorry, n. See, control S. Now go to command prompt, cls. See, python at the what are command line are? So general question comes here, what is the difference between a command line argument and a an input reading from the keyboard. Both you are dynamically entering from the keyboard, right? So what is the difference? So the difference is command line arguments are the arguments we pass to Python interpreter before executing our Python file. Am I right? Before executing our program, we pass some arguments to Python interpreter. That arguments are called command line arguments. But after passing our file, now Python interpreter has come to my program, it started executing. In between there is some input function has arrived. So now Python interpreter is prompting user to enter some number, then we are entering that number. So this is input function, right? And that the above one is command line argument, right? 100 is a input which you have entered from the keyboard. Cmd line 1.py is also a command which you have entered from a Python file which you have entered from the keyboard, but before executing program, after executing program. Now let me tell you, sir, only Python file you are giving and always why you are telling it is an argument. Yes, Baba, you see 10 space ABC space 20 space XYZ space 30. Can you understand now what are command line arguments? Can you see that list how it got displayed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 command line arguments I have given in my program. So who is displaying this? Left side, if you see sys.argv, that variable is displaying for us and its type is list. Now in the program, after executing program, your program is prompting for input. You give your input and it will read and display. You should very clearly understand what is command line argument and what is a input which you are reading from the keyboard. I hope you have got this right. Okay, now, so what are these command line arguments are when we use this? If you really understand, have you ever tried logging in into RkillDB, right? RkillDB, let me try to show whether I can enter username. Okay, I am entering some username. Okay, enter password, I am entering some password. Okay, so this username and password which you enter before accessing your actual Arkill DB engine. Okay, whatever the username and passwords which you are passing, these are called command line arguments. Okay, so command line arguments are the arguments which helps for us in getting connected to certain resources. Okay, in real time, you use command line arguments for to get connect certain, for the authentication purpose we use command line arguments. That is what you have to understand. Okay, so anyways, I have given wrong password, that's the reason it is prompting. Let me check once again. What happened? It has closed. Anyways, so I think I have to look into my passwords. That's okay. So at that the simple guys, username password which you give, right? So such sort of things we implement through program using command line argument. That is what the point you have to understand. Okay, okay, let me try to show uh, let me try to make you understand another concept. Okay, so how do you, what is the length of print len of this dot argv, control s f5. Okay, if you'll better understand when only you do this with the command prompt. Okay, so total number of arguments are 7. Okay, now this is your regular input. Are you understanding? So just take this immediately. I will come up with another concept called main module. Okay, or else let's see another program quickly. Shall I proceed? Argv is a variable which is present in sys module. Okay, so that helps in taking the list of arguments at the time of passing on your file to the interpreter. Okay, so control N, control S, so cmd line 2.py file. Okay, so ex2, so import sys. Let's say if len of arg sys dot argv, okay, if len of sys dot argv is double equals to 3, what you are doing is, okay, okay, you don't understand exceptions for now. Okay, so that's the reason I thought of giving this and not to give. Okay, let me try to make you understand to some extent. If you can, you please take. If you cannot also, that's okay. You will get to know this concept very clearly when we complete our exceptions concept. Okay, so z equals to x plus y. Okay, so basically what is happening here, if length is 3, if length is 3 means what, if you give only 3 arguments, your if loop gets execute. Correct. When if loop is getting execute, you are taking the instructions into try block. Basically you are reading first and second argv, right, elements, okay, arguments, and summing them, right, both. If you enter numbers, then only your sum will happen smooth, right? If you don't enter numbers, your except block gets executed. See, simple try block means, one second. Here possibility of error statements you have to write. If you feel like something is going to wrong, if user gives a wrong input, if try block fails, immediately except blocks execute. That's it. Okay, so that's what it is. Now let me erase this. Now what, one arg2, okay, so though both are summing, sum is doing. Now we are displaying sum except print numbers only. Whenever user give other than numbers, it will prompt saying that print numbers only. Okay, fine. If arguments itself is lesser than 3, more than 3 means else block gets execute, enter only 2 arguments, control S. Now move to python space cmd line 2.py space, okay, I'm entering 10, 20, 30, 40. Total number of arguments, how many I have entered? 5 arguments. So if I have to really point out this, s sys dot argv of 0, sys dot argv of 1, sys dot argv of 2, sys dot argv of 3, and sys dot argv of 4. Right? That is the reason what it will display is if I hit on enter. I hope my voice is audible, right? Okay, sorry. So what I'm trying to show is, see, control S, whenever you give more than two arguments, enter two arguments only, else loop is getting executed because sys len of sys dot argv is not equal to 3, so else loop is getting executed. Whenever if you give uh, let's say ab and okay, so 100 and ab, it is saying enter numbers only. Because why? Because what is your observation? Your arguments are not integers, correct? Your arguments are not integers, but total how many number of arguments you have, and you are satisfied if loop, right? So this is 2 and this is 3. So your Python file is for first argument, and 100 and ab are second, third arguments. You have fulfilled the number of arguments, but whenever equals to int of sys dot arg1 means this 100 it converted into proper 100. That is, if it is not integer, right, converting into integer and putting x. But second one, y equals to int of sys argv of 2, ab is not an integer, so string you cannot convert into integer, okay? So ab is a pure string type, this cannot be converted into integer, so that is where it is saying enter numbers only. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Now you may ask one question, sir, why argument 0? Guys, argument 0 is your python file you cannot add with some number, right? This is a file, like numbers, this is a file, okay? The smooth execution of this program is 100, 200 you give, it will say sum is 300. Understanding? So this is like for you to understand how to command line arguments, okay? So let's quickly move on with some other important. Shall I proceed? The output, take the output as well. Okay, so let me proceed. Control N, control S. Okay, so sys ex3. Now let me try to make you understand concept of main module in main module. So what is main module? You can also put braces underscore underscore main underscore underscore. This is very very important. What is main module in Python? A Python file which is under execution. A Python file which is under execution is called main module, right? See, there are in my 8 a.m. folder there are 50 Python files there. In other different folders, together in my computer, there are hundreds of various Python files are there, right? But not all Python files are called main module. Main module means at the time of that file which is interpreter, right? A Python file which is under execution, okay, is called main module. Okay, mean see, in engineering college, okay, 500,000, 1,500, 2,000, let's say 2,000 students will be there, okay. Not all students are called hero, okay, hero or heroine, you can imagine. Excuse me. Not all engineering students are called heroes. Only whenever your engineering student is in principal chamber, that time that person, you understood, right? So likewise, not all Python files which are present in my computer are called main module. Only the main module which is with Python interpreter, only the program which is with Python interpreter, means which is in the process of execution, that is called main module. So name of the main module of Python is, okay, like I said, name of the with I said hero, no. Likewise, name of the main module of Python is underscore underscore main underscore underscore. Okay, understanding? So so every Python program at some point in time it will be a main module. Am I right or wrong? What is that at some point in time? At some point in time when you go for execution, at that time it is called as like main module. Okay, right. Now this the name of the module main module is always by default gets stored in one of predefined special variable, one of predefined special variable called underscore underscore name underscore underscore, guys. So from here on you will start getting introduced to underscore underscore stuff, which is very 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 important in Python. Okay, these are called special variables and special uh, methods in Python. Okay, so underscore underscore name underscore underscore is a special variable in Python which always contains its value as underscore underscore main underscore underscore. Okay, right. Okay, so let me show a small program to make you understand this better. Okay, underscore underscore name underscore underscore double equals to underscore underscore main underscore underscore right colon print. Yes sir, we understood. Main module name gets stored in underscore underscore variable. Okay, right. Else print what you said is not correct. Right. Okay, so just take this small program. You should understand this underscore underscore main underscore underscore is the name of an every Python program whenever if it is under execution. Whenever if it is under execution, and that name by default it gets stored in a underscore underscore underscore. Okay, so what I am doing straight, I am assigning that, not assigning, I am comparing in that underscore underscore name underscore underscore main main module name is there or not. If it is there, yes sir, whatever you said is right. No, wrong. So now let me execute this. Control S F5. So you see, yes sir, we understood main module name gets stored in underscore underscore name underscore underscore variable by default. Write down by default also. By default. Okay, right. So you guys got the point. You guys got. I'm keeping it simple, sir. If loop generally you assign a value to a variable, and if a greater than if a double equals to 100, print a is 100, else print a is not 100. Right, a is 100 and else control S F5. See what is the difference between above program and below program? Tell me. Hmm? Above code and below code, tell me. Huh? Above code I a value to the variable a, and after assignment I am comparing. But here in below code, did I gave like this? No, right? Did I give like this? No, right? Straight I am equating means what? Underscore underscore name underscore underscore is a variable which is already present in Python with the value underscore underscore main underscore underscore. That is what the point you have to understand, right? So control S F. Okay, so a is 100. Yes sir, we understood. Main module name gets stored in underscore underscore name underscore underscore variable by default. That is what the point you have to understand. Fine. Okay, taken everybody? So let's proceed. Okay, tomorrow I will start advanced Python. Okay, so meanwhile I'm completing small things. Okay, right, now let's try to understand some predefined variables of sys module. Okay, so some predefined variables of sys module. Okay, so let's straight away, let me show it in the program. Control N sys ex4. Okay, sys module variables. Okay, Okay, so what is the first module? Okay, to check Python version. Okay, you have to obviously import your sys, right? Print sys.version control s F5. Can you check what is saying 3.7.8? So yesterday, to check the location, to check the version, these kind of doubts you have got, right? So sys module will help you, right? 3.7.8 is what I have installed in my machine. Is Python version. So how are you checking this dot version? Okay, right. Now, to get copyright information, print sys dot copyright control s F5. Okay, so copyright information of Python software, right? So 2001 to 2020 Python software foundation, all rights reserved. Okay, so this is all meta information. Okay, we don't have to really bother about what are all have been written here. Just for your learning, I'm trying to explore some variables of sys module. Okay, right. Now to check the location, yesterday I have given, but still you take, of Python where it installed. Sys dot executable, control s F5. Okay, last it is showing C colon Python 37 colon Python w dot exe. Okay, so basically the location it will give. Okay, executables wherever they are there, that location it will give. Okay, so to where all built-in modules available. Okay, available in directory, in system directory. Okay, so just print sys dot modules, squeezed text 143 lines. Can you see this? Click on that, double click on that. Now you will get to know about your modules. Okay, so sys is a module. Built-ins, I told you, right? Built-ins is one of the popular module. Okay, so frozen, bootstrap, imp, thread, warning. Okay, so these are all default modules which are present in C Python lib, C Python lib. Okay, so various, this is all about meta information of your Python. You don't have to really bother about all these things. Okay, these all get stored in this so and so location. Okay, all built-in modules gets go and store in this location in our Python software. Okay, so that's what it is. Now I hope you have kind of got the importance of sys module. Sys module basically helps about your software and in your system, how it got installed, version, right? Meta information about your Python software and your command line arguments, your main module stuff. Okay, all these things you can able to extract from sys module. Now this is what I have conveyed. What you have to do is, right, this is basic information of sys module I gave. Now you got kind of understanding. Okay, using sys module we can all get this kind of information is what you have understood. Now what you have to do is, you have to gain more knowledge on sys module, you have to explore your Google. Okay, Google or YouTube videos, go there and search more information about sys module. But I am telling whatever we have studied is good enough to just to car up interview questions. Okay, the more where you have to spend is on pandas, matplotlib, okay, numpy, such kind of modules. Fine. Okay, so let's proceed with one small concept for today. So Have you all taken all this? Yes, guys. Shall I proceed? I would like to take another 10 minutes. Okay, let me proceed. Okay, so here directly I have shown program. Okay, that comments only notes as of as if you can take. Now let us try to understand. Let us try to understand OS module to some extent. Okay, so what is this OS module? It is a predefined module again. It is a predefined module, provides various functions and methods. Obviously every file contains same functions and methods to perform the OS related works. Okay, OS related jobs. Okay, so what do you mean by OS related jobs? Okay, so like, you know, creating a file, right? Deleting a file, renaming a file, okay, right? Finding path of a file, etc. Okay, etc. So these all things, pushing file from one location to another location. So these all things which you can perform using your OS module. So some important functions I would like to highlight. So get CWD. Okay, get CWD, what does it will do? It gives current working directory. Okay, right. Sir, what is get CWD? Is it a function or is it a method? Can anybody guess what is get CWD? Is it a function or is it a method? Can you please type in the chat? I would like to see. Padma is saying function. Very good. Any others? Yes, very good. Very good. I hope you are understanding concept. Basically, OS is a module, right? So through module name, if you are calling, that will be a function for sure. Okay, right? Once if we discuss classes, then you will be getting into confusion mode. For now, you only know functions. That's the reason you are happily answering, right? So, but I will make you confuse a lot in coming up classes. Okay, so it helps in changing the directory. Please write down. I'm just kind of highlighting important functions. Per dir, what does per dir do? It gives parent directory. Okay, it gives parent directory. It gives parent directory. Let's proceed with some program. Control N, Control S. So OS EX1, OS example 1. Right. So what I am going to show now is I will use all the given statements. Right. Now, first you have to import your OS because you are going to use your uh, functions which I have given. CWD is equals to OS dot get current working directory. Okay, you print your you print your CWD control S F5. Can you see what it is saying? C colon 8 a.m. C colon 8 a.m. is what? Am I right or wrong? Okay, OSEX.py file is present in C colon 8 a.m. folder. Okay, you can check on the top. Am I right? Okay. Now what you can do is you can change the directory into os dot change directory into, right, let us say my folder. Okay, my folder in the 8 a.m. if my folder is there, let me execute this. It is giving file not found error. Again, please remember this is exception. Okay, any error, if it shows like this, a word followed by error, this is called exception in Python. Okay, so fine. Basically, what is the error it is showing? There is no folder with the my folder name. How come you can send inside? How come you can change the directory? So please go and check your 8 a.m. directory. In the 8 a.m. in the 8 a.m. you don't have my folder, right? You have only Python program. So let me create my folder. Okay, I have created my folder, and now let me execute this line. See, this time no error. Are you understanding? I have created my folder and this time no error. Means what? Now your control has moved inside this directory. Current working directory is, let's print now. Sorry. Let's print current working directory now. Okay. But you have to call, right? What I'm doing is straight os dot get cwd. Are you understanding? In the first case, os dot get cwd I've assigned to a variable and I printed that variable. In the second case, straight I am calling os dot cwd function, right? This gives the current working directory for me. Okay, control s f5. Can you see that now? It is showing I have moved into my folder. Okay, so current working directory I have moved into. Now tell me, who is the parent of my folder? My folder parent is 8 a.m. only. No, am I right or wrong? Next to before folder is the parent folder. Okay, so let's try to understand parent. Os dot change directory. I'm changing my directory to os dot pardir. Okay, so os dot pardir means what? It will, from the current directory to, it will move to parent directory. So os dot get cwd. Now let's check what it will give. Simply we have come out from my folder to parent folder, that is 8 a.m. folder. Got it? So that is what your change directory, get current working directory. Okay, this sort of commands are parent directory and all. Okay, now let me proceed with some other functions, or else let me control s. I hope you have taken control n, control s, last program, os ex example 2. Okay, so print os dot list dir. Okay, control s f5. So what is saying, os dot list dir, when I use name os is not defined, means what? Bugger, you are using os module, so if you don't import, how do you think it will work? That is what your interpreter is telling. Okay, so what it is saying now, list dir means what? In the os dot in that current directory, what are all different files which we have created, all those files it will display, like dir command in your command prompt. Understand? List directory gives all files of your 8 a.m. folder. Okay, getting my point? Okay, now let us try to understand making folders So you can do folder creation in two types. Okay, mkdir, let's say I'm creating sample 1. Okay, sample 100. Sample 100 I have creating. Please understand where sample 100 folder gets created in 8am folder. Okay, if you want, you can check 8am folder for now. Do you see any sample 100 folder here? No. Now control S F5. Okay, so you will get execute this above print only. Now let me go ahead and see 8am. Sample 100 folder has come for me, right? I have created a sample 100 folder using my OS module function called mkdir. Okay, right. Another way, let me show. Make dir. So sample 1000. Okay, control S F5. Okay, so why it is giving error? Whenever I am executing second time my program, this line also get execute. So already sample 100 is there. Again, if you are trying to create sample 100, it will give error, right? So that is the reason you have to comment that line and you have to execute it. Okay, make this control S F5. So your program got executed. Now go and check. You have got sample 1000 folder also created, right? So mkdir is what the command I have used here, and make dirs is what the command I have used here. Okay, right. Now folder deletion, let me show. Okay, while deletion showing, I have to comment this. Am I right or wrong? Os dot rmdir. Okay, so let me remove sample 100. Control S F5. Program got executed. See, sample 100 gone now. Sample 100 gone. Why? Because rmdir of sample 100 I did, it has gone now, right? So now I have to put this also in I hope you are understanding why I am commenting, because again that line executes. Okay, so it will not be able to find out the name. Okay, make dirs of sample 1000. Now the sample 1000 which I have created, I am trying to remove. Can you see that sample 1000 has also gone now? Okay, so sample 1000 has also gone. Now let me comment this line as well. Okay, let's try to understand renaming of file. We have my folder is there, no? My folder will rename to something else. Os dot rename of. Okay, so your my folder, you are renaming it to my folder 1000. Okay, control S F5, got executed. You go back, folder has got renamed to my folder 1000. Understand? So this is what the way how you have to use your OS module, right? So to create directories, to change directories, right, to get the parent directory, right, to get to know the current working directory. It is all about your paths in your system. Okay, so you can also find out the path as well. So I would like you to explore more on the sys and OS modules, okay, and gain little bit more knowledge, and we will discuss this OS module in further concepts also as and when it is required. So before directly showing in other concepts, I thought of just showing before that only. So that's the reason I have covered these two, and here to cover this OS and sys, any object oriented concepts are not really required. So before starting advanced Python only, I have tried covering these two. Okay.